What is going on, everybody? How are we all doing? And welcome back today to episode number 2 of our Blackburn Rovers FIFA 18 Career Mode Road to Glory. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but that's what we're doing here. And today, I am firstly going to say a massive thank you for the support on episode number 1. I was in a bit of a pickle, I didn't know who to sign, and you guys came in clutch big time. I've got a long list here with a load of names written down that you guys suggested for me to sign. I've actually already put them all on a shortlist, and we'll quickly show you now who these players are. So they're all in the transfer hub, all of these players, so I'm not going to go through them all, I'll just flick through them. So these are all players that you guys recommended me to go and pick up. Phil Foden. How did I not think of that before? I'll be really interested in picking up Phil Foden, particularly if we can get him on a permanent. And the other thing that was recommended to me was that if we go to our squad hub, there's that guy that we had out on loan. He was on £8,000 a week, and someone basically said just get him back and sell him. So I think that's the first thing we're going to do. So let's find out who that was again. So it was Feeney. This guy here is on loan at, I think he's at Cardiff. But basically want to recall him from the loan and then put him up for a permanent transfer, essentially. So add him to the transfer list, and hopefully we can release a bit more, well, make a bit more room in the wage budget, and also get a little bit more money in the transfer budget. But all the players that I've just shown you are basically being scouted at the moment, so we know exactly who to go for. A lot of them are quite young players, which I quite like, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, someone like Dominic Solanke, I'd love to get him on loan, but I don't think he'll quite take the drop, and it's going to be interesting to see someone like Phil Foden, a player that's not quite got the reputation of Solanke right now. If we could get him in, like I said, that would be an amazing deal. So I think to test the waters, even though it's not been scouted out yet, I am going to try and get Dominic Solanke online, because I think that would just be like an incredible signing if we could make this happen. So a meeting with Jurgen Klopp. Let's see if we can get this deal through. Usually I find, when I did this before, we actually got the deal done with the manager, but then it was the player himself that didn't want to do the deal. So let's see if we can make this one any different. Let's counter again. If we can get him down to sort of the 8,000 mark, that's what our top earners are on anyway. So, and like I said, Solanke is going to be an incredible player for us if we could get him in. What do you say to that, Jurgen? We've mugged him off. He's not happy. The wages were just too much, guys. So Solanke straight away is a no-go. I love our bloke's face. He looks like distraught, doesn't he? So Solanke's a no-go. We'll remove him from the list. So that's not a great start to the episode. Let's see what the scouts say about the rest of the players. Then we'll see who we're going to make a move for. So we've still heard nothing back on anybody as of yet. It's been a few days. I'm tempted to go in for Phil Foden. You know, I'd love to get him on a permanent deal. Let's see what Pep Guardiola says to a permanent deal for Phil Foden. If we can get him on a loan, that'll still be good, but a permanent deal for a player with such high potential, it's going to be interesting to see how they value him as well, because obviously he's only 17, his valuation is not going to be high, but they should, in theory, take potential into account, which obviously Phil Foden's got a lot of. I'm going to say, bang on the money, 1 million. I think that might be a bit too much, but in fact, no. We'll change that. We'll make it, because on previous Fifas, it doesn't seem to take the potential into account too much. So we'll offer 800 grand, and we'll see what they say to that. If they accept that, that's a bit daft in it, really, but we'll see what they say. Okay, so 1 million was a bit more realistic. They want 1.1 million, and that's still a good deal. Can we make it 1 million right on the money, maybe? So I'll change this down to 1 million. For a player with the potential that he's got, that's unbelievable, really. So £1 million, square on the head. What do you say to that, Pep? Okay, so they've accepted the offer for Phil Foden, £1 million. Not very realistic at all. I'd like to think he'd go for a bit more than that in real life, but it's going to be all about persuading the player to come now. Can we get Phil Foden on board? Let's see. Right. Squad rider wants is important. That's absolutely fine. If we can get him on a long contract as well, that'd be absolutely amazing. So an important player. Of course, we have got rid of Conway. He says he's a cam, but he can play left mid as well, so we could easily play him there as the replacement to Conway. The length of his contract's right. Contract length. I would love it if we could get him on a 5-year deal. So what do they say to that? Okay, he's nodding a bit. Is that good? Yes, that's what we're after. Okay, absolutely fantastic. Now, the one thing we do want to avoid now is a buyout clause or anything like that. He isn't considering a release clause. That's absolutely fantastic. He's not considering it. That's unreal. So that's exactly what we want. So no release clause, except that. That's fantastic. Because that was my concern, that maybe you'd want like a really cheap release clause, and obviously with the potential he's got, that could have been a problem. Now he's on 16 grand a week. My God, that's a lot of money. He wants to discuss his wages and financial matters. Right. So we're going to have to do some big negotiations here, lads. Edit wages. So 16 grand is just way too much. Can we get him on 10? 10 grand a week. Leave that bonus as it is the same. Submit off and see what they say to that. Come on. Jump on board, Phil. He's nodding again. That's not going to work. Damn it. So the player that stands out to me out of all those is Tabla. Is young. He's 66 rated, was he already? Yes, 66 rated. Value 1.2 million. His wages are pretty low as well. Very high agility, decent acceleration and sprint spell. Good acceleration, not the best sprint speed. But I think we go for him. Let's have a look, see how much we can get him for first. I think Tabla. Great to see you. Thank you both for coming. Have a seat, please. Right. I thought to be a good player to start will be decide his role at the club. Yet he's going to be an important first-team player without doubt. On that left-hand side, he's going to be our prime winger. Considered to be an important player and played throughout the season. Yes. Great, that's what we were looking for. The client is happy with that. That's a good start. That's a good start. Right. Okay, now that we've agreed on this, let us discuss the length of his contract. Again, like with Foden, I'd like to get him on a long-term deal. So 5 years would be the preference because he's young. He's got a lot of potential. If we can lock him down, that would be absolutely brilliant. Yes, that's what we're after. Okay, so it's going swimmingly so far. Release clause. I don't want one. Is that okay? Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Right, salary, wages. Now, we know... I hate it when it does this because we don't know what to go for here. We know that he wasn't on a lot at Montreal Impact. However, I think if we can get him on... Oh, what? Oh, I was a bit too far there, wasn't I? God damn it. I think if we can get this guy on 4 grand a week, that's double what he was on before. And then we'll give him a 200 grand signing on bonus as well. Let's see. The trouble is with this screen, lads. I'll say it now again. I think I mentioned it in the first episode. I don't want to piss this player off and put in an offer so low that I storm out, like with Foden. But I don't know what's reasonable. I might take up to 5 grand just to try and play it safe. And that's still, for a first-team player in our club, that's not bad either. That's like about average. So, let's see what they say to that. Submit the offer. Please don't be too low. Please don't be just walking away. Please. He's nodding. See, he looks happy, but Foden looks happy. That's a fair offer. Get in there, boys. Maybe we could have gone a bit lower with the wages, but 5 grand wages. We've got 3 grand off what Conway was on, and we've got a player that I think is going to be better for us. So, absolutely fantastic. That is our first major signing, I would say. First major signing. He's going to do really well for us. He's got some really nice stats. Let's have a look at him in full detail now, shall we? So here he is, Tabla. He's going to slot straight into our team in that left mid position. He's 4 less than Whittingham, but if you compare his stats for a winger with Whittingham, he's got much more pace. He's just a much more suited to that role. So I am very, very pleased with that. Fantastic agility. He's very young as well. I think we've actually got ourselves a nice player there. 5-year contract as well. Tabla, great first signing. Thank you very much. Who it was that recommended him? Superb. So I think this is how we're going to start off for our first game, guys. We're going to go with Raya in goal, a defensive back 4 of Williams, Mulgrew, Lenihan, who someone told me to put in the comments in the last video. Niambe, then right mid Bennett, 2 central midfielders of Smallwood and Dak, left mid the new signing Tabla, then up front Antonsen and Samuel. On the bench we've got Danny Graham, other new signing Connor Washington, Evans, Gladwin, Reece Nelson, another new signing. Hart and Ward. But I would like to bring in Ryerson as a bit of defensive stability in the middle of the park. Smallwood's a good CDM, but again, more cover would be fantastic. So if we can bring him in at a later date, hopefully we can go into negotiations with them again, and that'll be another good signing for us. But Southend first game of the season. This is going to be an interesting game. We're sticking with the usual for the general 4-4-2. That is what they were automatically playing. We're away from home. I don't know what to expect. First game of the season. Let's get into it, lads. Southend United, this is how they're lining up the standout players there. Probably Fortuna up front, Anton Ferdinand at the back is quite a familiar name. In fact, they've got a few familiar names in there, likes of Cox up front as well. And McLaughlin on the right, Michael Kitely on the left. Definitely some players that we need to be careful of there. Also playing the 4-4-2, but hopefully our boys will have just enough to get through this game. Not going to be easy, that. It's a strong team from Southend, I think. And here's our lineup. You've already been run through it, but I think what's worth mentioning, interestingly, I think with the new addition that we brought in of Tabla and Bennett being a good player, we could also change it to a 4-3-3 at some point and perhaps have Samuel up front as a lone striker in like a 4-3-2-1, something like that. But for now, we're going to stick with this 4-4-2. Hopefully, we can pick up the 3 points, and let's have a good start to the season, shall we? Come on. This is the new man. It's Tabla. Get in there in that line. This is what we want to see from him. Absolute pace down this line. Goes inside, finds Dak. Another pretty young player, actually, is Dak. And Tabla's made a good run. Oh, Dak could have picked him out. Tabla had carried on his run there. Yeah, so Tabla, lads, absolute bonus. Is a 4-star skiller as well. Did not know that. That's gonna make everything a lot easier by doing stuff like that. He's gone inside. He's picked out a man. Can we get it up front? Oh, it's so close. Well in, boys. Smallwood have started well here. This is a positive start. Looking for Samuel. Can we just pop one off here? Samuel! Oh my god, it's the first goal of the career mode. It comes from Dominic Samuel. And my god, what a goal that is as well to open up our account at Blackburn Rovers. We have been in control at the start of this game. Tabla down the left has been fantastic, but this move actually starts off on the right-hand side of the pitch. Comes across into the centre. We lay it off here, edge of the box, Samuel. And that is why I said he's going to be a key player for us this season. What a strike that is, lads. My lord. Not a bad way to open up the account for the season whatsoever. Great strike from Samuel. That's well played. Very well played. Williams goes into the centre to Dak. There's a bit of space up top. That's where we're going to look to go. Smallwood goes to the right back, Nyambe. Finds Elliot Bennett. They try and drop inside. Just on the edge of half-time here. Antonsen is giving it to Tabla, who's had a great start. He spins inside there. Tabla, can we drill it in? Oh, couldn't quite find anyone. Can we? Antonsen! It's 2-0. Really poor from Southend. They had the chance to clear that and they just did not clear their lines. Very, very poor defending. It all started though again on that left-hand side where most of our play seems to be going right now. Tabla picked it up. McGeady spin inside. A nice little stop and turn. Burbison, whatever you want to call it. But this here, that is not good from the Southend defence, is it? He gets robbed of possession by Antonsen and he slams it in on his left foot. Beautiful finish across the keeper. And as we come to half-time, we've got a 2-0 lead and we are looking comfortable in our first game of the season. Both strikers scoring as well, which is nice to see. And there is half-time. Scoring that goal right on the stroke of half-time. Absolutely fantastic, lads. What a start we've had here. It'd be a poor show from us to drop anything from this point now. We should be winning this game. We should be seeing it out. Do we make any changes? That's the question. Do we bring on Connor Washington? I think it's probably too soon to be making changes, especially as we're 2-0 up and it's going so well. So second half, let's just have the same again, shall we please? Oh, we've been done there a little bit. It's quietly. Got to watch the cross here. Oh, we got keeper. It's back in the game, Southend. They are back in the game. Oh, we've been so in control in this game, but the cross is always going to cause problems. Cartley very well known for his crossing ability. The keeper, we get a touch on it really, which throws the keeper off. Couldn't quite get a solid hand to it, and he just palms it back into the danger. And just like that, it's 2-1, and danger signs. There are danger signs now. Who scored it? It was McGlashan for Southend. Let's not bottle this now. Here he comes then, Connor Washington, making his debut for Blackburn. Our first player that we bought in this series. What can he do for us? Oh, I was looking for the 1-2 with Washington there. Didn't quite happen. Not the greatest touch there. It's actually fell very nicely. But I'll tell you what, Smallwood has had a great game in CDM. And that's a fantastic ball as well. All that from Smallwood's interception. Samuel can't quite burn through, but he can lay it back to Washington. He'll go for a finesse. And Connor Washington, lads. He's come off the bench on his debut. I wasn't sure when we bought him in how much of a good signing he was going to be, but my good God, that was a fantastic finish. We have scored 2 very nice goals in this game. The first one from Dominic Samuel from the outside of the area. Beautiful, beautiful strike. This one had a bit more finesse about it. Less of a powerful shot, more placement at the near post. But look at this great play from Samuel to hold it up. Then Washington. Should the keeper be conceding that? Oh, I don't know, but that's just a... I'm going to say that's just a great finish. Washington bends it in at the near post. Keeper's nowhere near it. 3-1, and that's game over. All 3 strikers have got on the score sheet as well that have been on the pitch. That's kind of cool to see. And now we could be in trouble on the break. Oh, that's great interception by Dak. This is probably going to be full time now. Are we going to get one last attack? Nelson goes inside, finds Samuel. We're looking for the return to Nelson, but there is the full-time whistle. First game of the season, away from home, against what I thought was a strong-looking Southend. We've come away with a 3-1 win. It was a very comfortable game, and all three strikers getting on the score sheet as well. Washington on his debut off the bench gets a goal, and then of course the two that started, Antonson and Samuel as well. So that is a promising start, and Tabler as well. You've seen Burma spin in the background. Absolutely stunning debut again. Massive shout out to whoever it was that recommended him. Looking at the stats, Southend had 3 shots, we had 6, deserved the win, and hopefully that is a sign of things to come this season. Okay, a couple of interesting pieces of news, lads. We've got a transfer offer for Liam Feeney, which is a good thing to see, someone that we do want to get rid of. Value is 600,000. We've been offered 370 grand. That's a disappointing offer. We can surely get more than that. Let's negotiate that. Come on. His intention is to play hardball. Okay. How about 500 straight on the nose? What did they say to that? Are you interested? Okay, I understand. You're not willing to part with Feeney for less than 500 grand. Deal done. Fantastic. So hopefully he'll go for that. It's a slightly less than his valuation, but he's an 8 grand a week. He's not someone that's going to be starting for us on the regular. I don't ever think he was on loan anyway. So that's good. And also, very excitingly, monthly skate update. It's our first foray into the youth team. We've got a few players here. Is there anyone exciting? Not particularly. That's disappointing. So I don't think we're going to be taking anyone on board here, unfortunately. Okay, so we can go back in for Ryerson now, which is good news. Hopefully we can make a deal happen this time. We have adjusted our wage budget so we can afford that. Also, I did notice that his contract is expiring in less than 12 months. So we should be able to get him for a little bit under his value. Last time we did just match the value, but hopefully this time I'm going to offer 400 grand, see what they say to that. And that should, I think, be enough because of the state of his contract. Let's see what they say. Fingers crossed. I think that's a fair offer. There we go. That's good. That's good. So we should be able to get him in there, fingers crossed. Because I think the only stumbling block before was his wages. And they appear to be sorted. So let's just make sure that we can afford this before we carry on. So we're going to go to the office. We're going to go to financial. Then if you look at the budget, you can see we've got 411 grand in the transfer kitty and £2,000 just over in wages. So hopefully we can get Ryerson in for 2 grand a week. He's currently on less than £1,000 a week, so it's more than doubling his current wage if we were to get him in on that. And he is going to be a rotation player, as we've already found out once. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get him in. So rotation player, we know he's happy with that. We know he's happy with that. That's what we were hoping for. Fantastic. We know as well he only wants a 2-year deal, but we know that we can get him onto a 3-year deal. So let's counter that, and we'll get him onto a 3-year deal. That's good. Fantastic. We don't want to release clause. Not keen on that. And then so there we go. So he's actually requested wages this time. £1,600. Small signing on fee and an appearance fee bonus as well. Let's edit this slightly then. Let's see. How can we still not afford? Can we not afford to do that? Oh no, we can't. Okay, but we're so close to it that hopefully they'll be okay with that. Fingers crossed. Please be okay with that. Look, if you're really interested in starting a plant, you should be able to plan. Come on, 1,600, mate. We're like £50 off. We're £50 off. Come on, man. Does that mean we can't go any higher, lads? That's so annoying. What if we give him a slightly higher signing on bonus? Oh, we can't do that either. A bonus? Appearances? Can we do this? I'm guessing we can't go any higher at all because it's not letting us. That sucks. That actually sucks. We're literally like £50 off being able to get him. Please accept. Please, Ryerson. I really want you. Please. I'll be annoyed if you don't get him because we're so close. It's not quite my... Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I read the first line then. If it's not quite what my client was hoping for, and I thought we'd screwed up, but he's eager to join the club, so we got him in. Thank God for that. We've literally used up all of our budget there, it would seem. Jesus Christ. Here we go then. Wigan Athletic away from home in the Carabao Cup. Well, this is cool. So we've got some cool cinematic stuff going on here. Let's see. And it's live. Quality. So here we are, Julian Royerson making his debut in this fixture. This, of course, is a derby match as well. I should have mentioned this earlier. Wigan versus Blackburn, very, very much a local derby. First round of the cup as well. What are the odds? Hopefully, like so, we can come away with the win. So here's the Wigan team. There's a few names in there that I'm recognising. Alex Bruce in there at centre half. Will Grigg he's on fire, of course. Up front, you've got Gary Roberts, I believe that is. They've got Massey on the right. Used to play for Wigan, for Burton, sorry, I believe. Yeah, it's a decent team. I don't know if that's their strongest team, but Will Grigg being up there is obviously going to be a threat. Hopefully, we can extinguish the fire with our lineup. We've already seen it. Here it is again. Luke Voller in goal. Nambet right back with Downing at centre-back, partnering alongside Ward. We've got Hart at left-back. Emerson Royerson making his debut in midfield. Then Bennett, Whittingham, Washington and Samuel making up the rest of the 11. Of course, Whittingham a very, very different player down this left-hand side. Not nowhere near as pacey, but probably, I think most people would say, a much better technical player. But Nyambe plays it forward. He finds Royerson. He's going on his run, but Washington's found the run from Dominic Samuel. And it's 1-0 up early doors. And right now we are cutting through teams at absolute ease. Samuel there, played in by Washington. I was initially looking for the give and go with Royerson on his debut, but Samuel just comes bursting through to making 2 goals in 2 games for him very early doors. He scored early on in the last game as well. But look at this. Royerson continuing his run, which is nice. That perhaps distracted the defence a little bit. And then Samuel found his way into a one-on-one situation and just slides it into the corner of the net. And early doors, we've taken a lead. This is pleasing stuff. McDonald bringing it forward is Will Grigg. Will Grigg's dodged the challenge then. They're cutting inside. This could be trouble. They've hit the post. Get rid. Oh, that was the first real attack Wigan have had. Gets it back to Whittingham there eventually. Nice interception. Royerson goes back to Samuel. Should we just go for a pot? Royerson on his debut. Always going over, but wasn't a mile away. Royerson having a crack there. 30 yards out, 25 yards. There it is. Half time in the game. 1-0 up. We have been in control for the most part, but Wigan have still got a threat. A lot of attacks coming down the right-hand side. Massey looks dangerous. And they did hit the post early doors as well. I want to make a change. I think I'm going to bring on Nelson in place of and Bennett at half-time. Bennett, of course, played the first game as well, so I want to try and keep him a little bit fresh. And Nelson can play this second half. Hopefully he can do well. Nice ball from Nelson into Dominic Samuel. We're probably going to go back to Nelson here. Can we drill this along the floor? What a ball! Oh, I was going to appeal for a penalty there, but nothing's given. Comes back to Royerson. We'll go for a finesse, but it's a bit of a poor effort there from the new boy. And there's an injury as well. Connor Washington. That is not good news. The new signing going to have to be taken off injured into the second half. Who do we bring on? That's the question. We haven't actually got a striker on the bench, which is poor from me. Who can we play up front here? I'll tell you what we're going to do. Because of this injury, we're going to have a change formation. We're going to go to a 4-3-3 holding. And we'll play it from here. So we'll have Samuel up front. Whittingham can still play on the left. Royerson can play CDM. So let's get... Oh, can I get Nelson? Nelson goes there. Royerson drops back into CDM. And then we'll bring on a central midfielder here. So the injury to Washington forced us to make a change in terms of system. Do we bring on Dak? He's a bit more attacking, but he does have... No, we'll go CDM of Smallwood. Even though Dak's got high work rates, so we need to be slightly more defensive now. I think we have got the lead. So forced into a change and forced into a change of system as well. It's going to be interesting to see how we adapt to this. First time we tried it, of course, been sticking 4-4-2 all the way up to now. Nelson's done well here. Can he hold it up? Get it down the line. That's fantastic play from Nelson. Come on, get to that. Play it back. Stick with Cinnamon. Oh, wasn't anywhere near the contact we wanted from the cross. Bit of a slicer that was. Look at the space down the wing again. Though it's Nelson. No, it's Nyambe. He's found his man as well. Oh, it should be a goal. I thought it was Reece Nelson. I think it was Nyambe, the right back bombing forward. Found a man as well. And that should have been the game sealer, really. Lumping it forward now. We've just hit the 90th minute. Any goal conceded now will be a disaster. We've been in control of this game so much, but Smallwood comes on the pitch, and that's what he does. He's found Peter Whittingham. Where are we going to go here? Peter. Oh, it's absolutely atrocious from Whittingham there. I think he's left-footed, actually. It was appalling on his right foot, but it doesn't matter, because we still come away with the 1-0 win. A very early goal from Dominic Samuel, the only difference in the derby between the two Lancashire teams. But you'll see from the stats, they only had 2 shots to our 8. We really did deserve that win, genuinely. And we're through into the second round of the Carabao Cup, which is absolutely fantastic. And this as well, lads, I think is where we're going to end off our second episode. It's been a great start. We brought in some players that I'm really happy with. I mean, we brought in Washington in episode 1. I wasn't too completely convinced, but he has scored a goal already and looks decent. But Royerson and particularly Tabler on that left-hand side are two players excuse me. Two players that I'm very excited about. Tabler especially, I was just about to say, 4-star skills, a lot of pace, got him for a good fee as well. And yeah, very exciting. You can see there, Liverpool signed Thomas Lamar for 55.4 million as well. Unlucky Arsenal is all you can say to that. But let's just see what this news is in the office, then we'll end off the episode. It's of course the injury, and it's a cruciate ligament for Connor Washington. We bought him in episode 1, and he's now going to be missing for 7 months. That is an absolute disaster for the new boy. But I will say we do have a lot of depth in that area. It might be that we have to take Danny Graham off the transfer list, and he's going to be playing a bit part role now rather than Connor Washington. So that is a massive, massive shame. But for the next episode, we're going to be playing against Doncaster Rovers and a few more games in the league as well. I hope again, lads, that you did enjoy this episode. If you did, leave a big thumbs up on it. Let me know any thoughts, feedback and stuff in the comment section down below. Thank you again for the massive support on episode number 1, and I'll speak to you all next time. Nidge out.